This is a continuation video to the two videos that I've done earlier, which means this is like a third video, which means in order to understand this topic that I want to talk about, you need to watch that two video before watching this. Otherwise, you might miss something out or wrongly allege or wrongly say what you are not supposed to say because I take my time to explain in the first video that I did and the second video. This is like the third video, like a continuation to the two videos I have done on this particular topic. So I'm repeating it. You need to watch it before you watch this. Because this is like a final stage to that explanation. So if you just understand this one that I'm about to explain, and not understand the previous part, that means I'm not the one that I'm not. I won't take that for you. Aha. So now let's continue from what I have explained so far. So what I've been explaining for in the first and the second video down to the one that I'm about to start is Taskeen Sihr. Aha. So I decided to bring the tasking out this way so that to make my explanation easier. I was thinking that since I have posted this particular tasking on my social media on my Facebook page, then I will be able to explain it easier. But I still realize that if I should do that, it might not make the message I'm intent to pass to be easy to understand. That's why I bring it down here so that I will just be mentioning it or present it in a way that will make it more easy to understand. Now, like I've said in that previous video, that what tasking SEER is usually used to solve complicated problems, complicated issues. When issue has become complicated, when issue has become persistent, then that's when you bring this word tasking out, or that is when this tasking can be used. We have different tasking, lot of tasking, different tasking, but this particular one is for is tasking is usually used for solving complicated issue, or let me put it more proper, it is used to know the source or the origin of what a problem or origin of what complications or so I don't want to repeat. I've explained those one in those previous. I'm just doing a kind of a rough recap of what this tasking is about. Usually used to know the origin of a problem, and when you then know it, you then know what to do next. So I have told you that the way we usually, if you want to use this tasking, the way we usually cast the chart is different from the way you normally cast your general chart. I've explained that in that previous video too, that there's a way of casting its own chart. So I've explained in that video. So and I've explained the conditions and the warnings and conditions attached to it in those previous videos as well. There's a two video before this. So this is like the third one. So that you know where to start from. There's a two video before this. So this is like the next one, and this one I should be able to use this one to cap it up. Now I should, but I hope I would. So based on the last discussion, we talked about that in order to answer this question, in order to use this tasking, you have to first of all know where this querent belongs. The querent is asking about belongs to. I told you out of the 16 houses, the four houses we need. I told you that we need four houses. House 6, house 8, and house 12 and house 14. And I told you that I only talked about that I told you that house 6 usually when the problem is about sickness, and why uh, house 8 is when there is an internal problems. Internal, what I mean by for this tasking, I'm not talking about the house. I'm not necessarily talking about the house medium, but at least it is related. So for this particular tasking, so now if you are talking about house 8, there are cases whereby I'm talking about house when somebody is sad. And this kind of sadness, I want to differentiate so that you understand. Let's say somebody is rich, and the person is still having some problem that he cannot share. He's hiding it to his or herself. And that is when this house 8 is needed for this stuff. Behind, not necessarily when the person is rich. I'm just trying to make you to understand the general compass. Not some, there are some problem that somebody is facing, but he cannot tell anybody, cannot share it with anybody, or it's kind of secretive, or it's kind of just for you to understand the nature of. So when you understand the nature of the current question, when you understand the nature of coherent complication, because this one is not used to answer question, it's used to answer complicate or to solve issue. This one used to solve it. Not you want to. There are problems generally. There are issues generally. That's why I told that. I have told you that before you can use this tasking, there are conditions that the situation needs to fulfill some conditions. I've explained it in the previous video that certain things needs to have happened before you jump to this one. Because normally you know how to use all this thing to solve the problem. You know how to use that normal someone so something. You know what I was saying. But I'm just trying to tell you that before you can get to this stage, there are things that must have happened. Now, when you have, like I've explained in class, level one, sorry, video one, video two, prior before this one, I've explained let me just jump. I'm trying to recap the previous video before I jump to this one. That is why the thing is look as if is look somehow in my explanation. Now, so if the question is about houses, this doesn't mean that well maybe the question is about money. You're not, you don't link it to that too. It is the complicated problem will either be in any of these houses, either houses or house. Even if it is money, it doesn't matter. Complications problem that we use this tasking for is for question houses, house 8, house 12, and house 14. But talk to that, I have explained that well. If the question is about sickness, and the sickness is not just sickness, because if it is not that sickness, you can use the normal method you know how to use. But when the question become complicated, maybe the person are sick, and the person that they have given the person has used medication, medicine, all those scientific doctors prescription, everything, nothing works out, and he has used spiritual prescription. Maybe they have told him to do one charms or the other. He has done that. He has done various things. And that is when you can then call this one the house is complicated house. You understand? But that is when you can call this one complicated house. I'm repeating. I don't want situation maybe somebody is having problem health. You're not using this clinic. You're only disturbing yourself. And don't go and put on the person on unnecessary worry. I've told you when the issue has become complicated, the person that do various things has done both physical and spiritual. That's why it's sometimes called this tasking of balancing. You have done spiritual, you have done physical with that case, and the case doesn't come out like that. Like the example I use, maybe somebody is seeking for pregnancy. You have done all medical something, nothing comes out. You have done spiritual something, nothing comes out. Everything. You understand about complicated issue? That is what this tasking for. Otherwise, you use your normal way of interpreting normal something and solve the issue the way normal do normal. This one is let's tell that the way you cast this chart is different. All these things I've said it before. I'm just trying to do the recap. Now let's jump so that you go and watch that two video very well. Patiently watch it to the beginning before you jump to this one. No, I don't want any confusion, any kind of misunderstanding or something. I will not say something did not do this one. So if you follow everything, work out. So please listen to my instruction very carefully. If you don't understand something, ask it in the comment section to be answered. The only one I said about houses, I've told you the description of the question where you go there. Even if the question is about money, you have to find a way that problem that's related to money is linked to any of these houses. No, like general geomancy, if it is money, you go to house 2. If it is something, you go to house 1. No. Whatever the case is, you have to find a way to link it to. We look like which one does that question or does that problem fit into best? Is it house 6 or house 8 or house 12 or house 14? You then use it to solve problem. Now, let's say you have assessed the current question, you have been able everything, you have been able to link it. I told you that well, I will use house 6 as an example. The same way you apply the house 6, house 8, and the same thing. Once you understand one, the rest become really easy. The most important is just know what the problem is. The first thing you need to do is well, do you want to link the question to? Is it house 6 or something? That is the something. The rest, the same thing I said is the solution of the one. The same thing if it is house 8, the same thing is house something. But your own task is to know that question, what current is battling with, where can you link it to? Where can you properly link it to? You understand? So now let's say it is our sis that we have linked it, we have assessed the current problem, it has been assessed. We now link it to our sis. Let's say it's our sis that we link it to. It is simple. So it is simple. The simple thing there is that if it is our sis, go to our sis. The figure you found there is what you need. Now, if it is this figure, this one. This one is not Fortuna Major, not to Daila, Fortuna Major. If it is this one, it means that that querent himself or is herself is the one that is transferring the problem to his or herself. Can you see that statement is not making much sense? But let me explain it to you. Let me repeat that statement again. If it is house 1, it means that querent is the one, mark my word, querent is the one transferring the energy to himself. Yoruba will say, if I don't say this in Yoruba, I will say that well, àfọwọ́fà ara rẹ̀ ni pé òun ló cause the problem. But let me now say that what I said in Yoruba, let me say it in English that well, querent himself is the source of his problem. How? How? The how is this that well? The how there is that well, it is not the querent you are seeing. It is the well, we have the inner head. We have our spirit and we have the so it is this querent spirit, not that somebody is doing this the one. This querent spirit is not just certified. Why? Because querent is still doing something that he's not supposed to do. So until querent retraces our steps, what are the things that he has been told not to do that he is doing? So this is what some people sometimes link to. Maybe we have some people say you have Orisha in your family, you have something you are used to worship in your family. These are something that you do not worship them again. Then it is now affecting you. This is what some people tag as that. But in literal sense, to just explain it in a literal way, coherent itself. So now, how do you then you solve it? Coherence needs to go and know what he or she has been told to do that refused to be done. This could then be maybe the Orisha in his family, or maybe something that he feel like, oh, I cannot do this one, or blah 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 like that. Maybe it is that one. Not somebody is the one that is what. So once he has done that, that doesn't mean the problem will automatically solve. Once he has done that, it means that I will tell you about what needs to be done. But let me first of all that he needs to go and do that. And that is what this one is saying. If it is found in the consigned house. Now, let's say if it is this one house too. Let me give you the simple logic of this. So that these videos will not be too long. The reason why this one is become Taskeen is because this one is house one, house of self. So it is easy for you to remember that whenever you, without necessarily cramming anything, house one, you just know that house one, self. So, you understand? So if it is this legitimate, you just know that house two, money is the problem. So if it is three, you will just, or except you don't know the meaning of our name house in the house names, the meaning of houses. So that is why this one becomes Taskeen. That's why this thing this arrangement become Taskeen. Are you getting the sense out of it now? The reason why this thing becomes tasking is because of this. This particular one talk about self. This one talk about money. This one talk about talked about sickness. This one now talk about family. This one talk about child. Do you understand? So that is why. So I may not be able to explain because this video itself is also already getting too long. If I explain it to wherever I explain it to, you should be able to understand the rest. If you don't understand the rest, that means you don't understand geomancy, or that means you don't know the meaning of each house. You don't know the name. House one is for this one. House two is money. So I may not be able. If I explain this theory or something, you should be able to know the rest by under. Once you know, or maybe when you then ask question in the comments, they can explain. But if I should continue explaining this thing one after the other, the way I explain this thing before I reach this house, this thing, this thing. So, but that is why the tasking make things easy. He has already given us that. We had already given us that arrangement. That one talked about self. This one talk about money. So I may not. So the point of this, I may not be able to explain everything, but you will know the rest yourself, isn't it? Now this one talks about money. Now this money is talking about that. If you find in the consigned house, either of the houses I've told you, it means that current has collected a work or money. That money has collected. That is, they have spent negative energy money for the querent. The person asking question, and that money, as long as the money is with the querent, the money is then passing, is the one. Sorry, as long as the money, the querent has collected that money. They have spent bad money for querent. They have spent wrong money, or money maybe they have done juju or they have not done juju. They just have spent, whether juju or no juju. They just have, it could be juju, it could be not be juju, it could be anything. They say have spent money, a bad money, or to querent. Querent has collected a bad money, or the money with querent is a bad money. That is what this one is saying, that that money is one that is not transferring that energy that is affecting querent, that brought querent to that state that he is. Do you understand? So now this one is talking about querent has done something wrong to his or her siblings. Querent has done something wrong to his or her siblings. So blah blah blah. Let me jump so that maybe I can talk something. This one, he has done something wrong to his or her family. This one is talking about child. This one is talking about God, child, outside, isn't it? So it means that what current has done something bad to a particular child, or somebody, yes, to a particular child. This one I'll see is talking about that parent has done a particular wrong to what, to an animal. That's what animal abuse, has abused an animal or misuse an animal or use an animal wrongly or I don't want to use the word offended an animal because to look as if you might not really understand that, but some spiritualists, some pantheists will understand what I mean. I'm trying to explain in a way that you will understand it quickly. So I think that he has mistreat an animal, abuse an animal. This is what this one is talking about. You understand? But so the rest, just use your normal understanding. If you don't understand the other one, you can ask it in the question. I've explained that the house is what we are using to pick them to answer. So now, let's say after you have told the query any of one you have told, if anyone you have told the query, let's say you have told them any one of them. Now let me use an example. Let's say it is one, let's say it is this one. I hope you have understood. I don't so that I can explain something another thing because this video is getting long beyond my expectation as well too. So I just want to now let's say querent you have now detected his house too. No, I jumped from this one the other time. I said that well, if querent go and do that, it will go the querent will go and do what is, and I told that is not the only thing the person will do, or maybe the hand. So, but let me use anyone as example. So I want to now explain what the person will do after you have told the person that thing. Now, see when you tell querent that he has collected money, let's say it's this one. It could be anyone. I'm just an example. Let's say you told querent that he has collected wrong money. You know, in most cases, querent might not know when he collected that money. Or when he spend that money, collected or spent. So what you do is that until querent is able to recollect before you can then proceed to the right solution. Until querent is able to recollect, that is when you can then proceed to the next solution. Which money? Is it money is spent? It could be the money is spent. It could be the money was given. Anyone you remember that he knows that querent will know by himself, but he may not know immediately you are telling him this one. Maybe you give him some time, or just tell him, let him go, let him or she go. Either he come back, it doesn't concern you. Have told him that is the solution to his own something. So, but he needs to recollect. Once he then tell you that he has to recollect, that is so possible, and he tell you the story yourself, you now realize that that's why I said the geomancer has a role to play in this one too. So once the querent has told you, maybe it is this one, that's how it's true money, or maybe he use somebody to do, he use collected money of somebody that is not supposed to be collected, or maybe somebody money that was, maybe somebody money family, maybe somebody property, went to go and sell it wrongly, or he collected, he sell it to property, he lied to them, all those stories that has to do with something. But if the querent is no, maybe he say he doesn't want to tell you, maybe querent not tell you wrong story, you are certain that means the problem is not solved. That's why this one has to do with sincerity. Maybe the querent giving no wrong story or lying against himself, the querent is not ready to solve the problem. So if the querent tell you genuine story, you too, you will know that this thing, he has done this something. The querent needs to tell you something related to something evil that he has done that has to do with money. Once he has told you, so you as a geomancer, you then play a role of justice. You play a role of justice. Maybe you tell the person to go and return all the money back, or something that you know that maybe to please the person, or you tell the person to go and confess, or something related to that. Once he has done that, you can then proceed to the next stage. What is the next stage? You can then cast another. Once the person has done, you then cast another charge. You cast another charge. The normal charge, the way you normally know, depending on how you know how to cast charge now. That your normal charge. The way you normally cast charge. Anyway, you can then cast that kind of. You not cast this Taskeen chart again. You not cast the chart. The solution that chart now provided, you will then use it to tell the person to go and do it. So, but you cannot go to that one. Another thing is this. Even though if you don't know the solution, you don't know how to, maybe you don't know how to cast a chart that will then bring the solution to. If let's say you don't know how to bring solution from a chart, this is it. Before you even cast the chart for a query, first of all, give some charms or some spiritual something for the query, something that has to do with the problem that's complained to. You don't give the person wrong something. That maybe complain about something. You have give the person to. You see some of those things you have given. After the person has confessed, that is that same thing you don't repeat it. Or let's say you have not done, let's say before you cast that, maybe you not remember to give him solution something. You can tell that what are the spiritual stuff that he has done. You can't tell the person to go and meet those people that has done spiritual something for him or her before, to then begins to do spiritual something for the thing will then begins to work again. Because that this thing that is affecting is the one that is not allowing the charms or the medical that the person first go in the first time. The person will go to that medical place, tell them to do checkup, whatever, blah 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 like that. Or if there's anything, they should give him medication, the usual medication. Just collect it like that, pay, come out, use it, then go back to all those spiritual something. Just one of those spiritual person that you pick one of them, tell them to do those spiritual something that they do for you that you think did not work. They should do it for you again. Do it. By the time you do it, the problem will be solved. Don't disturb yourself again. But if this thing you do under this taxing company that I told you, if you as a human you have made a mistake, or the person has lied to you, or did not tell you sincere truth, or maybe you said the person go and return the something or something, the person not do it properly, or the person do it halfway or do partially, that means you just by going to that medical or something again, the person want to disturb him or herself. So I hope you have been able to get this thing clearly without any mistake. So if there's any question or if there's any clarification, please ask questions so that you can clearly understand. So that you can clearly understand. You can clearly understand. So thank you very, very much. I really appreciate your time from beginning to this level. Thank you very much for listening and hearing out. Now subscribe to my video so that whenever I make a new video, you make a post, you can easily be among the set of people that will easily get notification of the new post that I have posted. And with that, thank you very much. Let me say thank you very, very much. And may your life never be useless as you like, comment, or share my videos. Thank you very much.